Ever imagine like going back in time, not to like dinosaur times, but to a world where knowing how to use a sword could like actually save your life.
Oh, yeah,
Because
definitely.
that's exactly what we're going to be doing today, diving into the history of fencing.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So like from its kind of brutal beginnings, where it was all about survival to like what it is now, this awesome sport that needs both brains and muscles, we're going to uncover how fencing changed over time.
It's amazing.
We'll talk about the moves, the strategies, and the pure athleticism
Yeah.
that have made fencing what it is for like centuries.
It's really interesting how something that started because people had to stay alive turned into something so, like, skillful and refined. We're not
Yeah.
just talking about swinging some heavy piece of metal around. Early sword fighting was all about strategy, using the right technique, and really knowing your weapon.
Yeah, it's like you weren't just trying to be stronger than the other person, you were trying to outthink them too.
Exactly. And as like civilizations got more advanced, the way they made swords and like worked with metal got better
Mm.
too. This led to a much deeper understanding of how to fight. Just think about the difference between those early rough bronze swords and the super sharp steel ones that came later.
Oh, yeah.
The way people fought must have totally changed.
For sure. So how did all this like changing of swords and fighting styles affect how soldiers were trained?
Great question.
Was it like going to boot camp but with swords?
Okay, so imagine you're this new recruit joining the army back in the 1500s.
Okay.
You get a sword, of course, but just being strong isn't going to keep you alive.
Yeah.
Armies needed soldiers who were disciplined and skilled, so fencing became a super important part of their training.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But armies from different places and times fought in totally different ways, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So did fencing techniques have to change depending on who the enemy was?
Absolutely. Different weapons and armor meant you had to fight differently.
Uh-huh.
Think about Roman soldiers, those legionaries going up against knights who were covered in heavy armor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The legionary would have been lighter and faster, using quick jabs to try and find a weak spot in the knight's armor.
Right.
Totally different from the knight who would try to overpower his enemy with big, powerful swings.
So it's kind of like a game of rock, paper, scissors. Each fighting style had its own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how did we go from fencing to train for war to fencing as a sport?
That's a good question.
Did soldiers just get tired of fighting and decide to have like friendly duels instead of battles?
Not exactly. As warfare evolved, the need for hand-to-hand sword combat decreased.
Hmm.
But the skills and discipline that people learned from fencing were still really valuable.
I see.
So they started making official rules, creating scoring systems, and instead of trying to kill each other, the focus became hitting specific areas on your opponent's body.
So it became less about taking someone down and more about accuracy and strategy.
Precisely.
Right.
And that change to a less dangerous form of competition is what allowed fencing to really take off.
Okay, so let's talk about modern fencing. There are three main types, right? Foil, épée, and saber.
You got it.
What makes them different? I mean, are we talking different swords, different moves, different everything?
You're right on the money. Each weapon has its own sort of personality.
Okay.
Foil is the lightest of the three, and it's all about making those direct stabs to the torso.
Okay.
Think of it like a super fast chess match where outsmarting your opponent is the key.
So foil is all about speed and precision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, épée, on the other hand, you can hit anywhere on your opponent's body.
Oh, wow. The whole body.
Yeah. Épée fencers are known for being patient and strategic. They wait for the perfect moment to strike.
So with épée, it's all about timing.
Exactly. Then there's saber, which is the most action-packed of the three.
Interesting.
It comes from those curved swords used by cavalry, and with saber you can use both cuts and thrusts, aiming for anything from the waist up.
Oh, wow.
Saber bouts are super fast and intense. You need to be really quick and have amazing reflexes.
It's amazing to see how fencing started as a way to survive on the battlefield and became this complex and beautiful sport.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
And it's still played all over the world, even in the Olympics.
It really shows how fascinated we are as humans with skill, strategy, and competition. What started as a way to stay alive turned into an art form, a sport, and a testament to human ingenuity.
If you could travel through time and train with a fencing master from any era, like a Roman centurion, a medieval knight, or a musketeer from the Renaissance, who would you pick and why? It's mind-blowing to think about how different those fighting styles would feel. And hey, maybe this got you a little interested in trying fencing yourself. You never know. You might just find out you have a hidden talent for this ancient and awesome sport.
You never know.
Thanks for listening,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
and we'll see you on our next deep dive.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.